Good morning. Well, some good news. I've finally managed to book the delivery for the cement mix and the gravel and the rebar and the plastic little cracky things you put in to designate where you want it to crack. And so that's coming on Monday at around the afternoon sometime. So in the meantime, because we've got so much coming, we've got 15 tons, we just had the guy come around from the building place, and he just looked at the garage and said, yeah, it should be fine, just make sure everything's moved out. So that's what I'm doing today, is I'm moving all this stuff from the front of the garage to the back. What else am I doing? Yeah, basically just moving things around. I had to move a whole ton of tiles. So what I've been doing is using the trailer to fill the tiles up, and then I just roll it to the back here, and then I basically unstack them over here. Actually saved a lot of work, which is a bit silly, but yeah, using a trailer to move it within the garage actually worked out well. Also went to the tip today, which is what the French or the English call it, the dump for Americans and Canadians, and basically got rid of a lot of concrete chunks and old plaster and mortar and stuff like that. Bonjour. So that was good, and yeah, really, it's just a matter of kind of taking care of this garage and making sure it's good. Just on a side note, I don't have anything hooked up to the fountain now, but that little pump there is basically all that's needed to run the fountain. And it does like 10 watts or something like that, not even 100 watts to run it, which actually, no, it's 10 watts. So that's just, you know, a bit more than or a bit less or around an LED light bulb, which is crazy to me. And that does enough to give that spray through the thing. I don't know how amazing it is, but I think it's pretty cool. I've also pulled apart two big old wardrobes, and I'm going to spray them for bugs and then bring them into the house over the weekend. And one other thing, this is a bit of a tip. If you have one of these mics, which most people aren't going to use, but if you have a mic, make sure that it's working properly, because I think over the last, I don't know, since I started using it, it's not been working. It looks like it's working, everything's blinking and looks like it's recording stuff. It was hard to tell, but maybe that's why I have so much wind noise and why my levels are so quiet. You have to check on these DJI mics, which are pretty inexpensive. That's the reason why I got it. And basically there's a little plug in the back. You can choose whether you have it going into an iPhone or you have it going into an Android phone. I'm using an Android phone. And with that phone, if it's not completely flush, if not slightly below, it's hard to see, but if it doesn't go all the way in, like don't be afraid to push it, it won't work. It looks like it's working. You kind of think it's working with the camera, because I don't know, I should have tested better, but it's funny because I was always, when editing these videos, wasn't sure why it wasn't working. But basically that little adapter has to be clicked right in. Looking at some other people's videos, which is how I originally found out that that's what the issue was. It's not very common, but it depends. I guess it's like a manufacturing thing. It's a little tight. Some are a little tighter than the others. Some of them just slide perfectly in. Well, mine didn't click all the way in. So I think that's, hopefully my audio will be better from now on, because I've been fighting with that for ages. Couldn't figure out what's going on. Why is it so windy? Why do I have to fight this? It's supposed to, I just bought this mic thing, so it should work. But anyways, just a tip, make sure your microphone is actually working, not just blinking. So cool. Yeah, that's what we've got going on this week. I'll probably on Monday, at some point, I'll start moving around and cutting the rebar. And hopefully next week, I'm actually starting to pour some concrete, which would be fantastic. So thanks for watching. Hope you have a great weekend.